All right, here we go. Under the Ash Mountains. Man, we are nearing the end of our journey. Pretty crazy. And speaking of crazy, this quest can throw a curveball at you if you just show up to it with no idea what is going to happen. You definitely need to do a little bit of deck building to take this one down. Let's read side 1A, Passage into Mordor. This quest, it's very important to remember order of operations. You need to set your heroes and get your opening hand before you set up the quest, because each player with more than 40 cards in his deck discards cards from the top of his deck until he has 40 cards left. Then the first player is going to add a copy of the Gorgor Patrol to the staging area. Other players would add a location. And then you shuffle the encounter deck and you're going to discard cards until you get a side quest. You're going to reveal it, and then you shuffle the discard pile back into the encounter deck. Let's look at side 1B just to get an idea of how this quest actually works, and then we'll look at the deck I brought. 25 progress needed. Event cards cannot shuffle cards from a player's discard pile back into your deck. Forced. At the end of the round, each player discards X cards from the top of his deck, where X is one more than the number of quest cards in play. If a player has no cards left in his deck, he is eliminated from the game. So that's why some deck building is pretty important, because you cannot go through your deck like crazy. The quest is making you lose all kinds of cards, and you could easily lose the game by running out of cards. There's a big enemy up in staging, so I need a big defender. I'm bringing Dine Ironfoot, Spirit version, 11 threat, 1, 2, 3, 5, Dwarf Noble Warrior. While Dine is defending, he gains action. Discard the top card of your deck to give Dine Ironfoot +1 defense for this attack. Limit 3 times per phase. That's very dangerous for this quest, but I need a big defender. The One Ring is going to be held by him, so I get to find a master card from my deck. My threat elimination level is reduced by 5. If Dine Ironfoot leaves play, I'm going to lose the game. So I need him to have the ring because I want him to get inner strength on him, which I'll explain what it does when we get that in play. I'm also bringing Nori. He's Spirit, 9 threat, 2 willpower, 1, 2, 4 hit points. Response: after you play a dwarf ally from your hand, reduce your threat by 1. That's more of a... it would be nice if I can do that occasionally. This is not a dwarf swarm deck by any means. I just needed a dwarf hero that was Spirit because it's also a Caldara deck. Caldara is 8 threat, 2 willpower, 1, 2, 3. Gondor, action, discard Caldara to put 1 Spirit ally from your discard pile into play for each other hero you control with the printed Spirit resource icon. This quest is begging you to play Caldara. You are putting so many cards in your discard pile. It's also perfect for Spirit because Spirit has Dwarven Tomb, which pulls a card out of your discard pile. It has Stand and Fight. It has Reforged. You can also run one of your record attachments to pull Spirit cards out. As long as it's not an event that is shuffling the card from your discard pile into your deck, you can do all that. So if you're just pulling a card out into your hand, pulling a card out of the discard pile to put it into play, that's all legal. And Spirit is the best for this. It absolutely is the best. If you were playing multiplayer, I would strongly encourage the other player to run mono lore and put in 3 copies of the Great Hunt and 3 copies of the record attachment to try to get rid of some of these nasty enemies. All right, let's look at this opening hand. Arwen is great. The Weaver's wonderful. I don't really like seeing Sulian. The Knight of Belfalas is great. I also don't like seeing Faramir. Stand and Fight is really good. See, I want to get Faramir in my discard pile. I also would like to have Sulian in my discard pile. I don't really want to draw my big allies. I want to be able to use Caldara to pop them into play. And to be honest, I also didn't draw my key card, which is Dwarf Pipe. Dwarf Pipe is amazing for this quest. That's why I needed 2 dwarf heroes so I can put dwarf pipes on them. I couldn't guarantee I would have, at least 1 dwarf ally in play to play a second dwarf pipe. So let's see what I got here. Unexpected Courage. Yep, that's great. That's really good. Well, there's Imrahil. That's someone I absolutely need. There's my record attachment. Knight of Belfalas is great. That's a lot of willpower, and that's a dwarf pipe. Boy, that is a good hand. Like, Geez, that's almost perfect. I actually have a hard time coming up with a card I would rather have. Maybe a questing ally that costs 2, but nope, I'm not going to complain about that. Let's take a look at this enemy up in staging we got to deal with. The Toric Gorgor Patrol Orc Uruk 45 engagement, X threat, 5 attack, 4 defense, 9 hit points. X is 1 more than the number of quest cards in play. While this enemy's in the staging area, no more than 5 progress can be placed on the main quest each round. And then forced, when he engages a player, he makes an immediate attack. Nasty. Really, really nasty. Normally I have to chump the first attack and then Dine will defend the second, but I drew an Unexpected Courage, so that's nice. Okay, we actually have a lot of setup to do. Let's make sure we give the deck a shuffle, and we need to discard our deck down to 40 cards, which means I need to get rid of 3 cards, and then we're going to discard cards off the top of the encounter deck until we get a side quest, and then we actually go to side B. So instead of discarding the cards, I'm just going to look from the top down because there's actually not a ton of side quests, so you could discard for quite a while. So just looking for the first one. I don't want the location one, so let's see what we get. Okay, good. We get the Hunt for Beasts. 4 progress needed. Each enemy cannot take more than 4 damage each round. While there's at least 1 enemy in the staging area, that quest cannot be selected as the quest you will quest against. That is fine, because the one with locations can be a real pain because it's pretty hard to get rid of in solo, and it's just making you discard extra cards all the time. So that one's not the worst. I mean, there's no good ones. It's not like, oh, there's a really happy side quest that really helps me. I mean, they're all they're all bad. Okay, let's discard the top 3 cards. We get Bilbo. He helps me find pipes. We get, well, this is nice, the Arid Lewin Miner. When he's discarded off the top of your deck, he comes into play, and then my second Unexpected Courage is discarded. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm actually pretty happy to get Bilbo in my discard pile. Let's go into turn 1, and I draw another map. So the maps let me replay events out of my discard pile. So excellent. Really, really good. I want to play Imrahil next turn, so I only can spend 2 resources, and one of them is going to be spent on the key card of the deck, and that is Dwarf Pipe. It costs 1. It's an item and a pipe. Attached to a dwarf character, limit 1. After a card is discarded from the top of your deck, exhaust a dwarf pipe to place that card on the bottom of your deck. So silver bullet for this quest for sure. It's the absolute perfect tech. You're being forced to discard cards, and this card takes that card you were just discarding and puts it on the bottom of your deck, helping you keep your deck from running out of cards. So I'm going to try to get 3 of those in play between Bilbo and Reforged. It's not unheard of to get 3 into play pretty quick, because you see a lot of cards when you're discarding them all the time. Okay, Inner Strength is also going to go on Dine right now for my second spirit resource. He now has +1 defense. I can exhaust the ring, raise my threat by 1, and cancel a shadow effect when Dine is defending. All right, quest phase, I can only send 5. So it was tempting to put in that Peligir ship captain, since he would have quested for 3, but let's see what we get. We get Fearful Shadows, Doomed 1, and then when revealed, until the end of the round, treat the printed text box of each character as if it was blank, except for traits. Well, the Shipwright ally's text box would have been blank. He would have quested for 0, so that actually worked out okay. So I actually made 2 progress, which I'm going to use that token to mark with instead of a die. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but when the Arid Lewin Miner came into play from being discarded, I did not get to drop my threat because he was not played from my hand. All right, I'm not going to engage that enemy because I can't take 2 attacks. And now at the end of the round, I need to discard 3 cards. So I'm discarding the Knight Belfalos. Oh, man, that's a really nice ally to get in my hand. Dwarven Tomb. Okay, that is what I'm going to use a Dwarven Pipe to put on the bottom of my deck. I do not want to lose Dwarven Tombs. Dang it! Dope! Back-to-back tombs. All right, well, I lost 1. 1 is still in my deck that I put there, and there's actually a 3rd copy in my deck as well, because the 2-player starter kit gave me extra Dwarven Tombs. All right, Prince Imrahil's coming in, so he's Kaldara's BFF. So when there's a hero in your discard pile, he gains the hero trait. So as soon as you discard Kaldara, he becomes a hero, and that lets you put in 3 spirit allies when you trigger her ability. So Prince Imrahil for 4 resources is in play. And it looks like I forgot to draw a card when I started this round. No worries, it's not going to affect the outcome of the game, but all this stuff happening at the end of the round throws off my rhythm. All right, let's quest for 6. That's not a lot. Oh, man. And we get a 4-threat orc passage. This location is horrible. While it's in the staging area, we can't cancel things. And then when it's explored, we got to find another one of those patrols and add it to the staging area. Horrible. Just a horrible location. That means we underquested by 1, so that sucks. Raise our threat by 1. We got to travel there. We can't leave 4 threat in staging. I was going to engage the patrol because I was going to chump, but I think I will try to get Unexpected Courage in next turn, and then I don't have to chump anybody. All right, 3 cards going away. Reforged. Nope. I absolutely want to keep Reforged in my deck. That is a great card for this quest. So I was glad I was able to save that. Oh, come on! Oh! Another one, and then a Ziggy. Okay. Jeez. Back-to-back Tombs and back-to-back Reforges. All right. Do I draw a card this time? I do. And back-to-back Ziggies. Okay. I have a Sigil Miner in my hand. I'll never use his ability. I just wanted an ally. Okay. Unexpected Courage going on Dine, so he can defend twice. And because I control 3 Spirit Heroes, I can reduce the cost of the map by 3. So I am going to use my last resource to put the map into play, which lets me play an event out of my discard pile. And then you put that event on the bottom of your deck. So let's spend all my resources like that. And boy, I'm kind of mad that I haven't discarded any big expensive allies yet. That's what I really want to get in my discard pile, because there's really no point in triggering Caldara. All right, I am still up against 3. I'm only questing for 5, and we reveal the Fiery Chasm, which is 3 threat. It's 1 more than the number of quest cards in play. So once again, I have underquested. There's just not a lot I can do about it because I want to get these enemies out of staging, so I kept Imrahil up in case I revealed an enemy and had to take 3 attacks this round. Okay, we're going to engage the patrol. He's going to be attacking for 5 twice. So he attacks when he's engaging you, and I'm going to have Dine Ironfoot defend for 4 and then ready. So no shadow. So Dine either takes a damage or I can discard a card. I'm going to discard a card because I'm hoping it's something expensive. Well, it is, but it's not what I need. So, okay, no damage there. And now I'm getting attacked again. Well, goodbye. I mean, normally I'd be really happy, but when I explore that active location, I'm going to have to grab that guy. Okay, so I can either take a damage or I can discard a card. I think I'll just take the damage. It is tempting to just discard 3 cards and hopefully get something good in my discard pile, but I'm not too worried about getting cards in my discard pile. That is a strategy, though. If you don't have a way of discarding cards like the quest is making me, you just discard cards to Dine even if you don't need to when he defends to try to get allies in your discard pile. All right, what do I discard? Another Imrahil. Okay, that can stay in there. Glorfindel. There we go. There's a big ally. He's staying in the discard pile. And then my Weaver... boy, I could leave her in my discard pile as well. When she enters play, she shuffles in the top card of my deck. Or I could use the pipe. All right, I'm going to use the pipe. I'm going to put her on the bottom of the deck because the top card she would have shuffled in is Imrahil, so that's not great. The card I draw is... oh, perfect. Yes, it's stand and fight. That's what I needed because I am going to stand and fight Bilbo. So you play stand and fight. You spend a number of resources as the ally in your discard pile you want to put into play. So I spent 2. When Bilbo enters play, he finds you a pipe. So he found me my second dwarf pipe and he shuffles my deck, which is huge because I put a bunch of good cards already on the bottom of my deck. So now they are getting shuffled in. Okay, that worked out great. So my third resource will put the pipe on Nori. And so now I have 2 dwarf pipes in play. One of them is not exhausted. That's excellent. Okay, so if I triggered Caldara, I could get in Glorfindel, Ziggy, and a Knight of Belfalos. Not great. Not great. Not really worth triggering if I don't have to. All right. Jeez, I just cannot muster up willpower quite yet. I am just going to send, I don't know, 6 against 3. We'll go against the side quest, not that it matters. A 2-threat Twisted Tunnel. I'm not very happy to see this. Okay, when revealed, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's an enemy, add it to the staging area. Please don't be an enemy. Oh, it's not. Ooh, yes, that is a treachery that makes me discard a ton of cards. Okay, that worked. I make 1 progress. Yay. Getting a little location locked here. All right, let's defend with Dine. So once again, 4 against 5. He's going to ready. There goes the side quest that's location based, although right now that wouldn't be terrible. All right, I'm going to discard a card so I don't take a damage. I'm going to discard another card. I can use the Dwarf Pipe if I don't like it. There we go. I'll use the Dwarf Pipe to put this Dwarf Pipe on the bottom of my deck. Although, wait, don't I have Reforged in here? I do. Actually, I'm gonna let that Dwarf Pipe go into my discard pile, and then I'm going to discard a 3rd card. All right, it's a minor. Well, I had a ready pipe, so any card I wanted to shuffle in or put on the bottom of my deck, I could have. I was actually hoping a big ally would have got discarded, but it didn't. All right, well, I can attack back for 6 and do 2 damage. Okay. I mean, I'm only allowed to do 4 total anyway. All right, let's go to the end of the round. I have 2 Dwarf Pipes. I have to discard 3 cards, and I am really hoping to trigger Caldara this round. So let's raise my threat, and now 3 cards being discarded. First card is Arwen. Yep, you can go in my discard pile. That's great. Reforged? Nope. Reforged will go on the bottom of my deck. And the 3rd card is a Dwarven Tomb. Nope. That will go on the bottom of my deck. And then I will collect resources and draw a card. Card I draw is good. The Weaver. Oh, that's really good. Okay, I drew the Weaver. So let's figure out what I want to do. I am going to trigger the map. So the map, I discard it, and I get to play an event from my discard pile. The event I'm going to play is this Reforged. So I'm going to spend X resources, where X is the cost of the attachment I want to reforge. I'm going to reforge that pipe. So that's going to cost me 1. And then the map says put that event on the bottom of your deck. So that's excellent. Now I have 3 Dwarf Pipes in play. So that worked out really well. I still have 2 resources. I could play a Ziggy. I could use the Weaver and shuffle the top card of my discard pile into my deck. I think shuffling in the map is a really good idea, and it gives my deck a shuffle. So the Weaver is also really good tech against this quest. So now I'm going to shuffle all those cards I've been putting on the bottom of my deck into the deck. So that's nice. I have 1 more resource, and I think I will spend that on the map because I had 2 maps in hand. So let's get another map in play. They're unique. And then I'm going to trigger Caldara. So I'm going to discard Caldara. Imrahil immediately becomes a hero as soon as she hits the discard pile, and then the rest of her text becomes active, and I put in 3 allies. So Arwen, Glorfindel, and then a Knight of Belfast. Arwen, when she exhausts, she's going to be giving a defense boost to Dine, so now he's defending for 5. Glorfindel, you can discard a card from your hand, and he will ready. Of course, amazing stats. So now my questing is coming online. And then this Knight, he's entering play, and I get to find a Gondor ally. So the Knight of Belfast lets you find a Gondor ally. That's a great way to find your Peligir ship captains. But I do have a Gondor ally. I have extra copies of Imrahil, so those are cards I can discard, or that's a card I can discard to ready Glorfindel. Okay, that added a lot of willpower. We're going against the side quest, and we're going to be able to send 14 against 5. We need to get through 3 progress on the active location, and we get, I was hoping for an enemy. Okay, a 5 threat crumbling passage. We switch it with the active location, and then when this is explored, we deal 1 damage to all exhausted characters. Man. Okay, so we added 4 threat to staging. So then, yeah, not even close. So 3 progress goes on the active, and then only 2 goes on the haunt for beasts. Okay, that stinks. So we are going to have to damage all of our exhausted characters, and then now we can travel, and I think I will travel to the Twisted Passage because hopefully I can clear a side quest and make the Fiery Chasm less dangerous to explore. The Weaver is dead. I haven't discarded her from play yet. Okay, I haven't revealed an enemy all game, so that's a little different than any playthroughs I've done. There goes another side quest as a shadow card. Dine Ironfoot's defending for 5, thanks to Arwen. And I still can only do 4 damage per round. So let's discard Prince Immerhill to ready Glorfindel. And we will do the 4 damage we're allowed, so I can kill this guy next round. Okay, let's raise our threat. Ready everybody up, discard that Weaver, and now we have to discard 3 cards, but I have 3 Dwarf Pipes. I might want to save my Dwarf Pipes if I have to discard cards throughout the round. Let's see, Glorfindel. Okay, I'm okay discarding that. Nida Belfloss. Nope, let's put that on the bottom of the deck. And then the third card, there we go, Hidden Cache. So when that's discarded off the top of your deck, you get to add 2 resources to somebody. So I'm going to discard it and then use the Dwarf Pipe to put it on the bottom of my deck, give 2 resources to somebody, and then I draw, stand, and fight, which is perfect. Okay, here's my hand. So let's get some more willpower in play. I believe I'm going to play the Ziggy. So he costs 2, and then the Pelargir Shipwright. Have I been saying ship captain? Pelargir Shipwright. He gets 3 willpower because I have 3 spirit heroes. So that's all my resources. I get to drop my threat by 1, and I just added 4 willpower. Okay. Well, still no enemy in staging, so I can quest against the Haunt for Beasts, and let's clear this sucker. So I'm going to send a total of 15. I am up against 7. I got to get through a 2 progress location, and I got to make 2 progress. I mean, I'm still not really doing well. And another freaking location. 3 threat, 6 progress. When revealed, I got to put the top 3 cards in my deck underneath it. When it's explored, I get to shuffle them back in. The shuffling's nice. Okay. Man, I would have rather had an enemy because it's getting hard to get through all these locations. But I do clear the active, and I do make enough to clear the side quests. So that's nice. Now I only need to discard 2 cards at the end of the round, and that also makes this Fiery Chasm only a 2, which helps me when I explore it. So let's travel there while it's the best time to. Let's get attacked for 5. And no shadow, another location. If I discard a card, I can ready Glorfindel, and we can kill this guy. So what I need to do now is just quest as hard as I can, but I have a lot of allies with only 1 hit point left. Like, I'm not going to quest with the miner that has a pipe with only 1 hit point because he could easily die. And I'm nervous I'm going to lose a bunch of allies, and I'm also really nervous about treachery that makes me discard cards from my deck equal to the number of characters I control. You basically just have to take a calculated risk with this quest, and you just gotta say, all right, I'm going with an ally swarm. If that treachery hits me and I don't have a test of will, I will probably lose. And I mean, there's just a lot going on, so you can't plan for everything. Okie dokie, so I'm going to make sure Bofur goes back in my deck, and the Weaver I'm also going to have go into my, well, let's see, I have stand-in. Yeah, I'll put the Weaver in my deck as well. I still have 1 Dwarf Pipe that isn't exhausted. I accidentally left an exhaustion token on 1, and so there I am getting it right. And let's see what card I draw. My threat is also creeping up there, a little nervous, because my threat elimination level is 45. And I draw Jubair. Okay, I'll be able to afford him shortly, so that's a good defender. Let's play Stand and Fight. Let's get another ally in play. So I'm going to use Stand and Fight, and I'm going to pull back this Weaver. And here I make a slight rules mistake. So I thought Stand and Fight would get shuffled into my deck because I thought it hit the discard pile before you resolve the Weaver's effect. But it's actually, you play Stand and Fight, and then you do anything that the card you're putting into play would do. So in her case, she would have shuffled in that Knight of Belfloss. And then I would put Stand and Fight on top of my deck. Sorry for that mistake. And I have 2 resources left, so next round I'll be able to play Jubair. And we're questing hard against the main quest, so let's go. Let's send as many characters as possible. And I'm questing for 16 against 7. Yeah, jeez. Okay, it's that location I was worried about, so it makes it the active location, and we are going to clear it. I am going to get up to 8 progress on the quest, but now all my exhausted characters take 1 more damage, and I'm going to lose a lot of characters here. So that ally goes away. But they go away after the location's explored, so I do get to count their willpower when I'm placing progress. But yeah, there goes a lot of willpower. So I was doing okay, but now my board state looks a lot worse. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Nothing but locations. I have not revealed an enemy yet. That really stinks. All right, let's travel back to that fiery chasm, and we'll go into the end of the round. And once again, I got to discard 2 cards. One of the worst parts about losing all these allies is now I know this game's going to take longer. Like, I thought I was going to be able to get the video done in a decent amount of time, but now I know it's going to take me a while to build my board state back up. All right, Bilbo going on the bottom of the deck. Sulian also going on the bottom of the deck. So I have 1 dwarf pipe still ready to go. I have 5 resources. I draw a hidden cache. That's not what I wanted to do. I would have much rather discarded it. Okay, Jubire coming in. Great defender. He can discard the shadow card of a non-unique enemy when he's defending. Okay, yep, we just got to go for it. I'm just trying to get out of here as fast as possible. And I'm only able to send 12 against 7. Yuck. We might not even clear the active location. Okay, the card we get, it's an enemy. It's a nameless beast, a 3 threat, 3 attack, 3 defense, 6 hit points. And then when it attacks, we discard the top card of our deck and add that card's cost to its attack. So yeah, 2 progress made. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Not good. Okay, so let's engage this guy. And then when it attacks, we're going to discard that card. And I get confused and think it gets the boost based on the top card of my discard pile. So he should be attacking for 6. Dwarf Pipe puts Dwalin on the bottom of my deck. Dine's defending for 4 because Arwen's not in play. And the shadow is exhaust a character I control. Here come the enemies. That one has Surge. All right, exhaust a character I control. I will exhaust that miner. And then I will deal a damage to Dine. So Dine can attack for 2. Jubire will add his to attack. We can deal 1 damage. If I readied Glorfindel, I still couldn't kill this guy, so I'm not going to waste the card. And let's go to the end of the round and discard 2 cards. I'm starting to get worried about the size of my deck, so I'm probably dwarving, piping any of these cards, like Reforged. There we go, under the deck. And the second card, a Knight, under the deck. Let's collect resources, and let's draw our actual card. Jeez. Okay, I have 2 cards to my name, and they're both hidden cache. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. All right, well, you can spend a resource with hidden cache and draw a card. So let's do that. And I drew Reforge, so let's see. Is there anything I want to Reforge? I think there's an Unexpected Courage, but I don't know if there's anything else. But Unexpected Courage isn't bad. All right, yep, I have Unexpected Courage, so I have the resources. I also have the map. I kind of keep forgetting I have the map. So I could replay Dwarven Tomb or Stand and Fight. So I can get some of these allies back. There's Stand and Fight. Yeah. Okay, let's use the map. I forgot I had the map. So the map will Stand and Fight Arwen. So she's back. So I'm going to spend 2 resources. And then the map puts that event on the bottom of my deck. And then, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Let's do that. I think that was the smart move there. So Reforged, though, when you play these record attachments, it costs 4 because it's the printed cost of the card. So reforging that map will cost 4 resources. All right, let's send characters on the quest. I mean, Immerhill could die if I reveal another one of those locations, but I think there's only 2 in the deck. I don't know. I guess I gotta play risky. So let's see what we reveal here. We get a Treachery. It's Ransacked Supplies. When revealed, each player discards the top card of his deck, and then you add threat equal to that card's cost. All right, let's see what card it is. Well, there it is. There's my single copy of Ally Faramir. So that's 4. Oh my gosh. I make 2 more progress. I still haven't cleared this stupid active location. Okay, now I'm getting attacked by this guy, and I have to discard a card to add Oh, there's stand and fight. That's how I get Faramir. So let's keep that in my discard pile because I have all those maps and dwarven tombs and other ways of digging out that stand and fight. So the top card is worth 0. This is if it destroys a character. Okay, so this guy, awesome. He only attacked for 3. So Dine handled that, no problem. He can attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. That's 4 more damage. I'm 1 short. So if I discard a card, which I will, to ready Glorfindel, I can kill this guy. Okay, he's dead. I have Faramir and Stand and Fight in my discard pile, and I keep shuffling back in cards that let me replay events. So that's why I'm keeping Stand and Fight in the discard pile. I have maps in my deck. I have Dwarven Tombs in my deck. So let's see what I got here. Okay, well, there's a Dwarven Tomb that I'm discarding, so we'll pipe that to the bottom. And then the next card is a map. All right, we'll put that on the bottom. I wanted to draw one of those. And then the next card that I actually draw is, all right, a Rider of Rohan. He does not exhaust a quest when there's a side quest in the victory display. So he quests for 2 and attacks for 2. Let's put him in. And now I just want to pull out Faramir, and then I'll be able to quest for a ton. All right. Once again, questing. So both of those allies are questing for 3. Arwen for 2. There's 1 more. There's 2 more. There's 2 more. Let's go. All right. 15 against 7. God, stinks. And here we go. All right. It's a big old troll. So there's 3 more threat. 5 progress. We finally clear the active location. And then we also place 4 more progress, putting us at 12 out of 25. So now I have to discard 2 cards from exploring the Fiery Chasm. There goes a map. So it was 1 away in between him and a Weaver. Dang it. That is a way I could have shuffled in a card. Okay. We are going to travel to that location that has cards under it. We have a giant enemy engaged with us. It's the Mordor Cave Troll. A 3/6, 3/8. He can't have attachments. And then after he destroys a character, we discard the top card of our deck for each point of excess damage dealt. So you can't really chump this guy. So let's defend for 5 against 6. Oh my goodness, there goes that treachery. So that's great. So either discard 2 cards from my deck or push the attacking enemy back up to staging. So we're just going to push that guy back up to staging. I'm going to take a damage from that attack. I'm not going to trigger the ring because I'm worried about my threat, which is very close to kicking me out of the game here. Okay, I'm going to keep the captain in my deck, and I'm going to use the pipe to put that dwarf on the bottom of my deck because I wanted to keep a couple pipes ready for another attack. Okay, good. Here's some willpower. So let's play another Pelargir Shipwright, and he's going to be questing for 3. And yeah, let's go. Let's just keep questing. Remember that Rider of Rohan doesn't exhaust a quest. I am very close. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm only at 12. 12 out of 25. It's nowhere near where I need to be. Okay. Yeah, and I'm still up against 7. That seems to be what I'm just questing against this game. So let's send a little more. And all right, we get another ransacked supplies. So we got to discard the top card of our deck. And oh my goodness, I can't catch a break. So I'm going to put that on the bottom of my deck because I need to draw it. And then I make the quest a little harder on myself because I still should have only added 0 threat to the staging area. It was the cost of the card that was discarded that you increased the threat by. I increased it by the cost of the card on top of my deck. So I should have made 3 more progress on the quest. So right now I'm at 15, should be 18. And those 3 cards that were underneath that location get shuffled in. So those stand and fights are now shuffled in. So is that map. We're going to travel to that 4 threat location. We're going to engage the troll, getting all the threat out of staging. We're going to defend it with Dine. Defending character cannot ready. That's fine. I am currently ready because I had readied myself with Unexpected Courage before I flipped the shadow. And then I'm going to discard a card to keep myself from taking damage. It's a Dwarven Tomb, so I'm going to pipe that. And then I discard another card, which is a minor, which is great. But I didn't need to. I think I thought I was either only defending for 4, or by using the pipe, it didn't count that I discarded that card. At any rate, I should not have discarded the second card. I mean, it worked out well for me. I didn't need to discard it, but I did. All right, we can do a little bit of damage to this guy. He's still pretty beefy, but we have removed all the threat from staging, finally. So maybe we can advance to stage 2 this next round. All right, let's discard 2 cards. We got Bilbo. I'm going to let that go away. And then Sulian. All right, I'm going to use the pipe to put Sulian underneath. Okay, come on. Please draw something that lets me play Stand and Fight. And we get Dwalin. Okay, well, he only costs 1 if I control 5 dwarves. And I do control 5 dwarves. So he's only going to cost 1 resource. And then I get to drop my threat by 1, which is really huge since I'm almost at my threat elimination level. And I'm just reminding myself of all the cards I have in my discard pile. Okay. And nothing in staging. I have Reforged that can't do anything right now. Let's go. Let's quest. So there's 3, there's 2. There's 1 more. There's 2 more from Arwen. There's 3 more. There's 2. And there's 2. Okay. So we are sending 18 against 0. And we get another ransacked supplies. All right. I wonder if I'll do it right this time. So I'm discarding a card that costs 0. I just decide to keep it. I'm pretty sure I would have done it wrong. But at any rate, we did okay there. We added no threat. I do have to find another one of those patrols because I'm clearing this active location. But we have made enough progress to get us to 25. So we do get to advance to stage 2. Finally. 40 minutes into this game. All right, an evil place. We got to search the encounter deck and discard pile for an encounter side quest and reveal it. Then we're going to shuffle in the discard pile, and we're going to discard cards until we get an enemy, and we're going to add that enemy to the staging area. So let's do all that. I'm just going to look for that side quest that I want. That one steals 10 cards. That one I can't do. That's dangerous to leave that in the deck, but I can't do it. And then this one, after a player plays any card, I discard the top card of my deck. And then when we explore it, we get to shuffle in 3 cards. So I'm going to do that one. It's the least worrisome, really, of them all right now. I don't want to do that location one because I don't think I can ever travel to it. But what I want to do is basically explore that side quest this very next round and then just win the next round. So let's discard till we get an enemy. We get another one of those nameless beasts. So, okay, 2 big enemies, and I'm already engaged with a big troll. He's a 3 threat. All right, an evil place, 25 progress needed, and it's all the same stuff. We can't shuffle in cards into our deck with events, and then at the end of the round, we're discarding X cards, or X is 1 more than the number of quest cards in play. All right, 25 progress we need to make. We're engaged with 2 huge enemies, and let's deal out the shadows. All right, I will defend with dying 6 against... Oh, nice. That is so good to see that go away. So I am either going to have to take a damage or discard a card. I think I will discard a card. Oh, nice. Hidden cache. Okay, so I'm just going to let that go away. So I get 2 resources there. And then I'm going to have Jabir defend here. And we need to get rid of that shadow with Jabir's effect. And then we discard the top card. It's a Dwarven Tomb. We're going to put the Dwarven Tomb under the deck. And I make another mistake with trying to remember if it's the top card of my discard pile or the card that was discarded. So Jabir should have taken 1 damage there. All right, let's swing back with characters that are ready. I want to kill at least one of these big things. So we do have enough to kill the nameless one. That's the one that makes me discard cards. So let's get rid of those effects if possible. Don't want to discard cards if I don't have to. And we're going to go into the end of the round. I need to discard 3 cards. My deck is getting very low, so it's getting very dangerous to let cards get discarded. So a knight. Yep, we got to put that on the bottom of the deck. And then let's discard a second card, Reforged. I'm going to let that one go, and then a map, okay? So the map is going back on the deck. I'm trying to guarantee that I get this stand and fight somehow by walking this really fine line. There we go! I drew a map. Okay, I finally was able to do it. So we're going to play the map for one, and then with the map, I'm going to play stand and fight, and stand and fight is going to play Faramir. So I'm going to spend 5 resources total, 1 for the map, 4 for Faramir. Faramir will be able to exhaust and boost everybody's defense. Stand and fight goes on the bottom of my deck. Whew. Okay, there we go. I mean, there are cards in this encounter deck that are just going to straight out kill me. Like, I'm just super dead. And that's just the way it is with this quest. You just play a dangerous game where if you don't have a test of will, you're just kind of assuming a treachery could just knock you out or something. But it's the way I got to go. All right, I still have enough resources to play Reforged and Unexpected Courage. So Dying can now defend 3 times. We are up against 3 threat. We're going to go against the side quest because that's going to shuffle in 3 cards. And that reminds me, I just played 3 cards. So because I played 3 cards, I should discard the top 3 cards of my deck. So there's 1 card being discarded. The Dwarven Pipe will save it. Here's the next one and the next one. Okay. So it didn't affect anything other than I forgot to do it at the right time. So 3 cards just got discarded. My deck is extremely low. My threat is extremely high. I have to make 25 progress, but I'm going to go against the side quest first. And then hopefully the following round we win the game. So let's go. We're up against 3 threat. The card we reveal. Jeez, oh Pete, this one again. Ransacked supplies. All right, discard top card. 0. Okay. So we had 0 threat. That means we do clear this. And we're going to shuffle in the top 3 cards, which is actually excellent because 2 of them are stand and fights. So very, very small deck here. We are definitely on the verge of losing. I mean, we could easily lose this quest. And it's a long one, so it's hard to lose this quest this late in the game. All right, Dying defends when this guy engages me. Plus X, where X is the cost of the top card of my discard pile. Okay, so plus 0, that's good. And then we are going to get attacked here again. No shadow. Okay, that's great. Dying defended both of those, 5 against 5. And then I don't want to chump this guy because I have to discard cards. So Dying will have to defend here as well. So it's 5 against 6. Discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's an enemy, add it to the staging area. I'm raising my threat, putting on the ring, and canceling that shadow. I know it's super risky, but I can't risk an orc patrol getting added to the staging area, and I only can put 5 progress on the quest. I'm just going to do that. So there we go. That's the decision I made. I didn't want to risk it. Let's kill something. So I have a lot of ready characters. And I figured this next round, it's either a win or a lose. I mean, I'm either going to win this next round or lose it. So it's okay if my threat is at the very most it can be. I guess I could have revealed a card that had doomed, and that would have killed me this following round. So maybe I should have just let the enemy get possibly discarded and added. All right, Dwarven Tomb getting discarded. Nope, Dwarven Pipe's going to save that. And then Sulian is getting discarded, and Dwarven Pipe's going to save that. So we have a few cards in our deck, so we shouldn't lose from this. There's Dwarven Tomb, so I can pull back anything. That's Spirit. So what do I want to pull back here? I don't have a lot of resources, so I feel like I should just get another little bit of willpower in play. So I will spend 1 on Dwarven Tomb to pull back this Knight. The Knight pulls back Immerhill, so I have a card in my hand, and we need to make 25 progress. We need to make 25 progress to win. If we don't make 25 progress, we lose. So let's go. I'm sending everybody. This is all or nothing. It's YOLO time. We're going for it here. Every single character is going on the quest that I think I need. All right. When it's all said and done, we're sending 21 against 0. It was not an enemy. It was a 4 threat location, so that card wouldn't have got added. But, yep. All right. Faramir boosting everybody up. So we can get to the 25. And there we go. We have sent a total of 35 against 4, 25 progress placed on the quest. That's a victory. Whew, okay, that's a hard quest. You got to bring a deck for it that can handle that quest. It's a really hard quest just to bring any deck against. All right, I was just curious if the next card down would have been a patrol if I had discarded that card I just revealed. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that one. It's a fun quest, but it's extremely hard, and the next one is also extremely hard. So hope to see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.